I'm digging around again, and I go back to another recipe from former times, a month ago or so, or a little bit more. I had hazelnut milk as a base here. Recently made hazelnut milk, has to be used soon. After 3 days or so, 4 days, it gets sour. Again, you can always use it as yogurt or kefir or sour milk. It's very healthy and fermented, but yes, I like it now for the smoothie in its sweet state. And I use it together with spinach. Spinach, hazelnut milk. And here I show you my spinach, isn't it wonderful? I have to show you. See, I love this guy. Spinach is so fresh, so nice, a vegetable. And it has to be used with some special ingredient to make it digestible. For the calcium and the iron have to be absorbed by the system, and that can only be done with this guy here. That is tahini. I ground my sesame seed to have this tahini. You can also use lemon. That's another option. But in this case, I will use the tahini because I want to make it simple. And a simple smoothie should be also runny and a little bit thick, so creamy. And that makes the smoothie creamy. Yes. Otherwise I had to use with the lemon, I had to use the banana to make it creamy or something else. You can use a different base for your smoothie. Banana, for example, to make it creamy, an apple to avocado, or tahini, other things. Or if you use coconut milk, for example, it gets a certain creaminess by the coconut milk because it can be very rich and thick and fatty. So there are different ways. And you can combine all these, of course, certainly you can. But I want to make it simple in the beginning. And yeah, that's what I want to talk about a little bit. Just a moment, I want to tell you about the simplicity. Why simplicity is so important to me. Because it is the beginning of my research. In order to get a variety of different foods into my diet plan, I begin with as simple as possible base. For example, I take 2 or 3 ingredients. For example, here I have the spinach, I have the hazelnut milk, and I have a tangerine. You see the tangerine? I have a couple of tangerines here, 4 to be precise. And I use some peels, zest. Not the peel, the whole peel, that's the zest. The zest of the tangerine makes it a little bit more tasty. Because the tangerine has a very subtle taste, it is very nice. And these tangerines, I found them in a health food shop and they taste so delicious like tangerine. Yes, I had to use them in a smoothie too because they change the flavor a little bit, just a little bit. And with the zest, of course, a little bit more. Yeah, this is my 2 or 3 ingredients. Because I take a 4th one here, I have to. Otherwise I cannot incorporate all this to make it healthy and delicious. I have to use the tahini. Otherwise I couldn't digest the spinach. So, but back to the principle. Why I make a simple one. A simple, easy smoothie recipe, a basic one or so. I begin with to, first of all, to be able to explore the recipe, the ingredients. And once I get to know the character, if you see it like a stage, on a stage for example, you put characters, actors, to make a game. In a certain way you can talk about, you can use this metaphor for the kitchen, for the cooking too. They have the stage, that is the plate, yeah, and the actors in that play are the ingredients. So I use them a little bit like this, so they get their own life, like an actor or a writer does the same. He uses certain characters and they give them life, so they develop their own life and they begin to act in his mind, and then he can use them perfectly in the play. You know, that is very easy, and so I do it with my ingredients in the cooking. That's why you sometimes use some maybe a little bit funny or strange looking seeming expressions like a character or a guy or something like that, you know. But then never mind. I don't really believe that these guys are persons. Of course not. Plants are here on the planet Earth to make it more beautiful, so to enjoy ourselves and to give a whole variety. And if you begin with a very simple ingredient, simple combination, like 2 or 3 or so, then it is much more easy if you get to know them first very well, how they combine with others, how they work together, And if you know that, very nice, if a feeling for them, yes, deep inside, it is internal inside, then you can combine them with others and make it more refined. And that's why you can make every day a different recipe, and that's what I want to tell you. You make every day a different recipe and get this wonderful biodiversity, what your body and your mind is craving for. The more diversity the mind and the body are feeling, are experiencing, the more young and the more knowledgeable and the more strong they get. It's a lifelong experience of learning. Of course, we always develop. The mind has to spread at the same time to focus. Okay, don't go into that now. I give you one more quotation from my beloved yoga teacher, Yogini Kaliji. She said once, I asked her, Kaliji, what is the divine? Because I'm a curious guy, I don't know these things. And she has such a wisdom, she can answer any question. That is so funny. I asked her the question, what is the divine? And she came up with a wonderful explanation I never heard before. She said, very simple, the divine is endless creativity. And that has always been the basic principle of my life. I found out, I always thought that. I never thought about the divine, but now I know how to bring the divine into my life, my daily life, without even having to believe in God. What I do, but you don't need to. Just isn't so simple to say the divine is endless creativity. So I found a way to bring endless creativity into my kitchen and into the videos, and so for you to learn. I learn myself. That's what I do now. Try if that works. I put the spinach quickly into my blender. Whole bowl. And 4 tangerines. Oh, they are so delicious. And I put some tangerine zest. From 2 tangerines. It really doesn't matter, the numbers. You see, if you do this simple kind of cooking, you don't really need to know all the numbers, because you feel it already. That's the way I teach cooking and I learn cooking. I'd rather say I learn cooking myself. And if you watch me, I not really teach you, because I learn myself, and you can watch me and, like I learned from my mother, my grandmother, my aunties, our neighbors in our village, when I was allowed as a little boy to visit there in their kitchen. I just could hang around there as a little boy, and I could hang around and listen to the old ladies. To me, they were old ladies, all the day, and they showed me how to cook. Without even telling me, without even teaching me. I just was there and witnessed that. I don't need any recipe. Of course, I use recipes, but in the principle, at the beginning. So I put some hazelnut milk in. Let's see what it turns out to be like once it's blended. Now I told a long story, but I want to tell you this story. I find it so interesting, how I make my recipes, how I develop the series, and why I do every day a new video, a new smoothie, a new juice, a new recipe. Yeah, that's part of the reason. I'm so curious. Every time I open my smoothie, my blender, I'm so curious what comes out of it. Isn't that a nice feeling? Yeah. Oh, it smells good, like hazelnut. I wonder how that works. Oh, it's nice and runny, and it's creamy too, because of the tahini. Yeah, it's nice. Yeah, it's nice. Very nice. This is a very basic flavor, very simple. A lot of hazelnut in it. So wash my spoon. This is some spoon. And I show you this little smoothie. Your glass. Isn't it nice and creamy? And it will become a little creamier the next 10 minutes or so, because the tahini is going to thicken up a little bit, just a little bit. Get some more creamy to enjoy yourself. Wish you a wonderful day. See you very soon.